Welcome back to another episode of No Bull with Noble. And today it is episode 6. And we're here with my very old and good friend, Alex Tejeda. Alex, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We go way back to our college days.
We go way back.
Our friend Mackenzie, I'm sure she's probably going to listen to this.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make her watch
podcast.
it. Yeah.
Make her watch it, make her listen, you know, like subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, but it's so weird because none of us were in real estate. We were doing different stuff. And
yeah.
Here we are, you know, however many years later, and both completely different professions. And I don't know, I feel like it's nice because, like, I didn't really know anybody in real estate before. And, you know, seeing you go through the process and starting your, I guess, real estate career business
journey,
was,
yeah. I know, and I saw you starting too, and that's why, I kind of reached out to you like, oh, how's everything going or whatever, because it's hard to start, but it's exciting as well.
It is, yeah, it's very interesting. And I think that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. It's just like how both of us are so new into the business. You know, you're a year into the business, many years into the business, up here.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I guess we'll get into that. So yeah, you started, like you just had your 1 year anniversary.
My 1 year anniversary, in November. So November 1st was my 1 year anniversary. And I feel like now I can talk a lot about stuff because I don't know, it was definitely a journey. And so I've learned a lot of stuff. So yeah, and I've helped a lot of realtors along the way too, like brand new realtors. So I don't know, I just, I have more advice now that I'm like a year in for sure.
Right. That's my 1 year anniversary. Like my 1 year from
it was November?
Starting the course was November 1st.
Ah, yeah. That's so funny.
And then a year later, I sold my first house.
I know, you had your listing.
It was the same, like it was November 1st. Yeah.
You had a listing.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I haven't even had a listing, so that's amazing, yeah.
Really? We gotta, this is what this podcast is good for.
Yeah.
We're gonna, you know, build each other up.
Exactly. No, I've helped buyers, but never had a listing, so I saw you got your listing, and that was very impressive. So
motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Always, yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into real estate?
My mom, she definitely did push me a lot, but I've done every kind of odd job, like serving, personal training, so then I got into real estate. My mom did kind of push me, but then I ended up really liking it, and I really like the investing side of it. So not just helping buyers with like a dream home, but actually doing like deal analysis and helping investors.
Okay. Yeah, because that's like the side of it that I'm trying to get into.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
I guess like I don't know enough about it, so I wanna learn more about investing.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know a lot either, but I want to, one of my goals is to own 5 doors before I'm 30. So I kind of got into deal analysis for myself, and then I kind of just attracted those clients and then broke down deals for them. And I just found it more interesting to like see the business side of it and not just like buying your dream home kind of thing. So yeah.
And how do you find most of your buyers?
That's a whole other conversation, but,
no, that's this conversation. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Well, like I just mean, so I find my buyer. So my brokerage does provide leads, but I definitely have my own way of lead generation because I know that's like really hard for new agents. And so I kind of focus on 4 pillars. But I have like a segue about this because as a new agent, it is like really hard. Like when I was new, I was looking up all different ways to find leads, and it was like 99 ways to find leads or 49 ways to find leads, and you just get so overwhelmed. So I would say stick to 4 main things. And over the year, it has really changed. So right now, it's through Facebook, through rental letters, and through YouTube. I love YouTube. So, yeah.
What's the 4th?
The Facebook kind of has 2 branches of its own.
Really?
Yeah.
What parts of it?
So Facebook, I do Facebook groups. That has really helped me a lot. That's where I got a bunch of leads and like really grew my database. And I focused on mostly investor groups, but I have other realtors that focused on like, I don't know, running groups, dog walking groups, or things like that, like things with the community. And then I also do permission to advertise. So I reach out to listing agents that have listings on the MLS that say yes to permission to advertise. And then I post that on Facebook groups, and I grew my database a lot just by doing that. So
really,
yeah,
I feel like that's an old school way of doing it, but I feel like a lot of people are still doing it. I hear it a lot.
It works.
Go out, ask people about Facebook, and take their leads, put it out there, because even on something like Kijiji, for example, you can you put listings out, but it shows like people can see your history of all these listings that you put out there. So as a newer agent, if you don't have your listings, it's a good way to put yourself out there, and it looks like you're a lot busier than you are.
Exactly, yeah.
But it also is lead generation, right? So someone sees it, they'll come to you, and you go from there, right? I guess the sky's the limit. As long as you can get referrals and you can get people to come in and trust you and you do a good job, and then, you know, I guess you find enough people to grow your business. That's a good way. But I haven't done any of that stuff yet.
How have you been generating leads?
A lot of it is social media. Just reaching out to family, friends, keeping people within my network. And then I've been doing door knocking, and that's like putting letters out as well.
Yeah. Door knocking was hard for me.
It is very difficult. You gotta really get into it and really like push yourself to go do it, because people are gonna slam the door on your face. People are gonna, you know, not answer the door. It's nice when people don't answer the door, but you almost want them to answer the door because you don't get the experience. It's almost I wouldn't say worthless going and doing it when people don't answer the door, but it's nice to sort of generate a conversation, right? And I actually spoke to someone a couple weeks ago at one of our office holiday parties, and he was sort of explaining to me things about door knocking that I had never even thought of, like body position and what to say, how to lead questions, asking open-ended questions, giving them a reason to answer, and then taking all that data and going back and I guess door knock a specific area, and then you go back so that you have that conversation with those people, right? And you see them again. You see them 2, 3, 4 times. You go every month, couple of months, whatever it is. But then you get familiar with those people, right? Because before it's like, you know, you knock on 2,000 doors and it's all different people. But if you knock on the same 400 doors every couple of months, like those people you're gonna start to know and understand, and it's developing a relationship through that as well.
I understand the importance of like door knocking, cold calling, but I just always found like, because you're reaching out like one by one, that's why I like social media, because like I had like my YouTube did well, and I did like an apartment tour and it got like 250,000 impressions or something, and you would never get that from door knocking. So that's why sometimes I get like, I don't know if it's the best lead generation source, but I think it is a good skill to have.
Yeah. Yes and no though, because those 250,000 impressions, how many of them reached out to you? And
like 10. So
that's still pretty good though.
Yeah,
it's a decent amount of people who want to find a place, right? Because with YouTube you can get someone from all over the world, and they're not necessarily going to be in your network. Find the same with TikTok, and then you get something like Instagram where those people are people who are following you because they're in your network. I feel like that's also really good lead generation as well.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Yeah, door knocking and cold calling, like I guess that's more like your direct network. So no, that makes sense. The last thing I do, sorry, just segueing back, but the last thing I do is the rental letters, and that really changed over the last year too, because I reach out to renters that leases are going to be up and then kind of convince them to buy. But I kind of really changed that and made it to non-rent controlled buildings, so that hopefully I can push them a little bit harder to buy. So that's something else that I do that hasn't worked yet. Like I said, in my first year, I threw a lot of spaghetti at the wall and just kind of saw what would stick. But that's something that I'm trying right now. But I know direct mail does take a little bit longer to kind of stick. So
So what are you doing for rental with the rental letters? Like, are you finding a building that you like and just going to every floor and
no? So I'm mailing it out. So like I'm not even going there. I'm just mailing it out. And then I have like a QR code so I can see when people are scanning it and they have to fill out like a questionnaire thing. And it's just a postcard, and it goes to buildings that are after 2018. So that means that they're non-rent controlled, usually in downtown Toronto. So and that I've seen like a lot of people scanning it, but I haven't got any responses yet. But I've only been doing it for about like 3 months. So I expect it to take like a year for things to actually stick.
That's like anything in this business.
Yeah.
People come into it thinking that things are going to happen right away. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Like, you're going to sell a house. You're going to sell 5 houses in the first couple of months now. It's, yes, listen, it might happen, but usually, it's like anything. It takes time.
Yeah.
Right? You got to sort of develop those goals early, and then if you don't meet them, go and move on to the next one, right? Or set the same goal for the next year and see if you can hit it and go from there. Because I know that you do that as well.
Yeah, you see my trackers.
I see your trackers. I see a big goal setter. And I set my goals for 2023. So
I heard you did that on Mario's podcast.
Yeah,
did you do it?
So I hadn't done it. And Mario, if you're listening, I didn't do it the next day. I did do it the next week when I had it planned, but I did do it. I wrote it down. I wrote down short-term goals. I wrote down long-term goals, and I just need to figure out how I can stay on top of them, because okay, I wrote them down, but where are they going to stay? I know people have like sticky notes, or they have a whiteboard that they
I love my whiteboard. Yeah. I have my whiteboard. It's also the screensaver of my phone. That might help you too, just so you always remember your goals. But I think it's important to like plant seeds daily. Like I have my goals, but shameless plug, but I have my virtual office for my agents, but like mostly new agents. And then we're in the virtual office from Tuesday to Friday, and we know our big ticket goals, but then we just know our goal for the week. Like it's just about breaking down the goal, really. If you have those big goals, just breaking it down into like months, weeks, whatever.
So your office is totally virtual?
Virtual, yeah. It's on Zoom Tuesday to Friday, 9 to 12. And then every hour we do something different. The first hour is prospecting, second hour is social media, and the third hour is admin. And then we check in and just say what we've done. And I created this not really for anyone else, but I was trying to keep myself like accountable. So that did help me a lot. But yeah, I don't know.
You started that?
I started that like in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it for myself, like I said, but it did help me like do things daily because I always tell my mom that sometimes I feel like realtor, like the profession name is like the equivalent to just saying you're unemployed, because like every day you're kind of chasing like a deal, or sometimes you wake up and you have no idea what to do. So I think it's important just to plant those seeds daily, even if you can't really see a deal in your near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of the same. Yeah. When you're new, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you don't, unless you have a mentor, a coach, or you're on a team, you don't really have too much guidance. But that's why like I go into the office every day. Yeah. I'm here every day because it gets me out of the house, number one.
I would love that.
I can't work.
My brokerage doesn't have an office, so like
you need to get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that brokerages now are renting out places. They're doing like the hotel concierge or whatever, where you have like a like empty off. There's so many empty office buildings right now that people are renting out certain office buildings and using that as their brokerage. But
that'd be cool. Yeah,
I like going into the office because like you actually get to talk to people,
and it makes you feel like you're like working. That's the thing. Sometimes you just get caught up in this business. Like you can feel unemployed, so it's important to do those things like every day. So yeah.
And you're getting a lot of help from these Zoom sessions, I'm sure. Like how many agents are coming in?
Like 5 to 6. It definitely it started with me and then it grew like 5 to 6, and now I'm hoping next year it will grow a little bit more. And it's people from like everywhere, and then we all just share our experiences and what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and it's just good because it does really keep you on track.
And you set your goals, you have that, and then you have these Zoom sessions on top. Like, do you find that speaking to these people has been beneficial to helping you achieve these goals?
Yes, for sure. It's helpful for me in achieving my goals, but also I do have a long-term goal of like opening my own brokerage one day. So it does kind of help me like manage people. They're not my agents, but it's just helping other people like win kind of thing. And I think that'll be beneficial one day if I do want to open my own brokerage, like knowing the common questions and complaints and concerns. So yeah, it's been helpful in both aspects, keeping me accountable, but then also just knowing the common issues.
Right. Do you find it hard that people are coming to you for questions, even though you might not know them? But I guess you also have a good support system, right? Like you said, your mom's in real estate too, so she's someone who you can look up to. And
yeah, I kind of feel like I had a leg up because of her, so I could resonate with new agents, but then I also kind of had like a structure, and so I was able to just offer that to new agents. Even in terms of like templates and stuff like that, like emails, like I've seen new agents send out offers and they look terrible. So I had like a structure that I was able to help them with, give them templates and whatever, and that really helped them. Like I had one agent call me and she's like, I got my lease accepted because of your template. So I'm like, okay, that's amazing. Like like I said, I think everybody can win, and I want to help new agents.
Is this for like a Schedule A, Schedule B, like putting things on there, or just
no, not the clauses, just like how to send it out. Like a lot of agents, I worked at a property management company for like 3 months. That lasted very short, but I saw so many agents send in offers, and it was like loose leaf papers, like they're sending attachments one by one, and then it's just like, here's the offer. Like that's it. For me, I like lay out exactly what's in the offer, the conditions, the closing date, how much is being offered. I say thank you, and then I merge all the documents together, and then I usually have like a love letter from them, like a buyer's love letter or whatever.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah, so it helps you stand out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when other realtors open up a document, they don't know about your clients. They see their photo ID, they see their employment, whatever, but they don't know anything about them. And that's what I've started to do as well. Is I add that little blurb letter. I just ask my client, just write down a paragraph or two of something about you, what you like to do, weekends, whatever that you're, whatever. Just so that, you know,
it helps you stand out.
Yeah, it helps you stand out because other people aren't doing that. Number one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Number two, the agent and landlord can get a feel for
the tenant or buyer.
The tenant or who it is. And yeah, it gives you a better chance. But also on the flip side, if that was me, you know, and I'm the listing agent and someone's sending that to me, it's good because it gives you a better idea of who these people are and you know what they're all about. Because yeah, you know, you see a picture. I feel like there are a lot of realtors who are sort of judgmental, you know, realtors and landlords who are judgmental, and you know, it's a little bit of an issue, but I feel like getting these forms and like a little blurb about them, is really good because they get a really good understanding for who your client is, and it might even give you a better chance.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, if they're receiving so many offers, it does help you like stand out. So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely was still a new agent, but I just had like a structure in place. So that's maybe what helped me stand out or help other new agents. But yeah, I definitely don't have the answers for everything, but I was just able to like provide hopefully structure for them. Is
that one of the biggest things that you've learned in this first year in the business? Like, or are there other things? Yeah.
The biggest thing I've learned is is to have your pillars. That would probably be my biggest thing, is to know like how you're generating leads and then organizing those things and like planting seeds every day. Yeah, I think before I had my virtual office, I was very like sporadic and would do things randomly, and that got me nowhere. So now doing things like every day, even if you can't see the deal in the near future, it's coming. You just have to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
And it sucks. Yeah, you're gonna get there at some point.
You'll get there. Yeah,
I'm the same. I've started to develop a routine as well. Just getting up in the morning, you know, going through the motions and.
Well, you didn't even have a routine. You got a listing, so there you go.
Yeah, but you know, maybe it's because I built that routine, right? Because I'm showing up to the office, because I'm showing not only myself but the people around me that I'm working hard and I'm doing as much as I can to be the I don't want to say be the best, but yeah, be the best, because you know, I'm not getting discouraged at the fact that I'm so new in the business. Like, you know, you don't want to talk about that really, and people don't like to talk about that, right? Like, you want to plan ahead, you want to understand that this business is very difficult, very hard. But once you develop those relationships and you've gone through it, like, I'm sure we can come back here and do the same podcast a year, 2 years from now, and it would be completely different, because we're going to look back at this and say, wow, like, look how young and experienced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show up in my Lambo too.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? We spoke about that in the podcast. That's my goal. So
yeah.
You know, maybe it won't be my goal in the future, but for now, it's like, you know, it's something that I want to work hard for, and getting my own house, right? Buying my own house.
Me too. That's my biggest thing.
Especially in this market with how much things cost, interest rates, mortgages, all this stuff. Like, it's a lot. And especially for us, when nothing is guaranteed, you know, we don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like, us learning every day is so good, because there's so many things that we can do to change. And you're running your business one way, I'm running my business the other, but there are elements of both that are working and things that we can learn from each other, you know, and grow together.
Yeah, and everybody starts somewhere. So even if you're like a new agent, it can be like hard in this day and age, especially seeing people on social media like so far ahead, or people that have been in the business for 20 years, but everybody starts somewhere. And I think if you're consistent, you can get to that same place or even better. Yeah. And even like going into my second year, I'm so much more excited than my first year, because I have an idea of what the hell I'm doing. So I think it'll be more successful than my first year, and then it just creates a kind of snowball effect.
That's what I feel too, right? Going into January, you know, first full year, it's like, this was sort of my trial run. This was my couple of months to get my footing, figure out what the business is about, learn as much as I can. And that's what I'm doing with this too. Like, I'm learning.
Yeah,
right?
But that's all you can
do.
Like
having those pillars, like, I hadn't thought about breaking it down into these 3 or 4 specific categories and focusing in on that. So, you know, learning every day, and then starting January, it's like a fresh slate.
I know, I'm excited for January. December, I've definitely felt burnt out. So I'm super excited for January. And I hadn't felt burnt out the whole year, but then I got to December and I was like, oh my God, like I am done. And I'm usually, I never really get burnt out, or I get hard on myself if I feel burnt out. So I was like, I'm going to keep going. And I just was like hitting a wall. So I just kind of really rested in December, and I'm excited now for January because I took that rest. So yeah.
That's good. And have you built your business on the side from that time that you've sort of like stepped away? Because I feel like as soon as you can start working on your business, the business is going to come, right? So maybe you're not prospecting as much. Maybe you're not going and reaching out to as many people, but you're doing things on the side, like posting these videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, to grow your business in that way, so that eventually once these people want to find you, they can see all this good content.
Yeah. I feel like, have I done stuff on the side? I've done a lot of stuff on the side, but I mean, when I'm burnt out, the main thing I do is really just, especially in this market, like because it's slower, I'm able to focus more on my clients. Like, so all my investor clients, I'm sending them like deal analysis, like no matter what. And I always tell them, like, I won't send you automated listings. Like I look on the MLS every day anyway. So I'm going to send you stuff that actually like pertains to you and break it down for you and whatever. So I think I still follow up with my clients when I'm feeling burnt out, but that's pretty much it.
So are you focused really on investors right now?
I think that'll be my main niche. I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know, naturally like resonated with me, and I enjoy it. So I think that'll be my main niche for sure.
And then for you to become an investor in the future is obviously
5 doors before 30. Cool. That's the goal. Yeah.
I think you can do it.
Oh, I can do it. I'm going to do it.
Like if you stick to it, keep doing what you're doing. And
I'm trying to buy my first one next year, and then we'll see from there. Yeah. I don't know what yet, but I would like a couple multifamilies or something.
So if you bought your first place, you wouldn't live in it. You would just buy it as...
I would probably have to live in it because I would want a house hack.
Okay.
Yeah. So you live in it because you can get that 5% down, and then live in it for a year, and then I would rent it out. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, really only 5 doors before 30 is like a duplex and a triplex. But
yeah. Oh, I guess that's true. You combine.
I'm not buying like 5 separate properties. It's just kind of more like doors. But
yeah, because I don't know about duplex and triplexes. Like what?
Okay.
Are you prepared to be a landlord? Because I feel like there are a lot of implications, and like it's hard to be a landlord because there's so many things that you have to worry about all the time.
Yeah. I've looked at so many different strategies, like so that you don't have to deal with tenants, like maybe like pre-constructions and then selling it before it comes to closing or whatever, but like an assignment sale. But I could be a landlord, I think. But I did work for a property management company, and I saw all the issues that he had with all his tenants, and it was scary. But I think there's a way to do it. My mom also, you should bring her on the podcast. But
we could bring her on the podcast.
Great. Because she always tells me, she has good like nuggets. So she told me, because he wasn't a very good guy, and so she said there's a difference between like a landlord and a slumlord. So I feel like he had so many issues because he was just treating his tenants like shit. So I think if you're a good landlord, you get good tenants. And
you do that with real estate as well, right? You treat your buyers and your sellers well, you're going to do good business. If you don't treat them well, right, you treat someone who is leasing differently than someone who's buying or selling, they're going to notice that.
Totally.
Right? Because if you're all in and you're doing the like 100%, like I'm all in on you, you're going to do well. And then as soon as you go and treat somebody differently, someone who's, like I mentioned this earlier, a $10 million property, I would treat someone the exact same as someone who is renting out a condo.
I totally agree. Yeah. I totally agree. That's what's helped me too, like just treating everybody with respect. And it was funny, like, yeah, that I totally agree. I had like a basement suite client, and I still treated them with respect. Doesn't matter if it's a $1,500 rental, and they ended up bringing me like an investor client. They want something like in the millions. So you just never know. So just treat everybody with respect, really.
Yeah, you don't know who other people know as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because our whole business is based on referral, essentially. Yeah. Or 80 to 90% of the business is based on referral. So, yeah, like I said, start, even though we might be doing leases our first year, these people might turn into buyers in the next couple of years, and the person who they're going to think of is you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even in my second year, I have people that I rented out in year 1, and they're already thinking of buying like this year. So you just never know. I remember when I started, there was people that were like, I would never do $1,500 leases, but they do turn into buyers. So I think it's important.
Yeah. Doing that lead gen treating people with respect and just staying on top of it. I feel like that's also the hard part. Like, do you have a CRM?
Oh yeah. This is my thing. So it's funny. We know Mackenzie from college, and like I literally in college I organized everybody's calendars. I'm very like organized. I love organizing CRMs, like all this stuff. So I definitely have a CRMs.
And do you go on it like all day, every day?
Yes.
Like that's what you use as like like you said, like your calendar. You use that base, the people who you have in your contact list as a calendar.
Yes. Yeah. So I have 3 different things. I have Follow Up Boss, Trello, and then my Google Calendar that I kind of organize everybody in. But Follow Up Boss is like my whole database. And then Trello is like my active people that I'm kind of talking to every day. And then Google Calendar is color coded and based on when you're looking to buy. So I have like client A, B, C, and D. And A is looking to buy in like the next 3 months, and D is looking to buy in like a year. So that's like my favorite thing to do is organize it.
I started to color coordinate my calendar in like the past 2-3 weeks, and I don't want to say I'm not noticing a difference, but it's good to see and go back and like I can see, oh, I had a meeting, I had a bunch of meetings this week, or I had a bunch of showings this week, whereas before I would go look and everything was just the same color.
No.
Like I could go back and see what it is, but it's easier for me to color coordinate it now because, yeah, like I said, I can go back and find that balance as well, right? Because I have specific color. Like I have red for going out with people. Like if I have like plans on the weekends, I have dinners, this and that, like my social life, I have in red, and then everything else I have in, obviously other colors, but I don't want it to get too overloaded on personal time. Like I need to find that balance of, here's how much I'm working, here's how much I'm doing with my friends and family, and making sure that there's a balance between that. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you have a balance. I don't, but that's good. That's good. You have a balance.
Is yours more like
mine's
work
just
heavy?
Work, yeah, and especially the first year. But I don't know, and I enjoy it. Like a lot of people are like work-life balance. I don't know if that's a real thing, so I hope it is.
I don't know.
I hope it is. But sometimes it's just, to me, priorities change. So like one year I'm really focused on work. The next year maybe I'm focused on traveling. It's just, I've never really had any kind of balance. It's always just my priorities change. But I'm rooting for you. I hope that exists.
I hope so too. Maybe I'm going to get crazy busy and I'm not going to have that balance. But I think
it's good
going in and having that mindset ahead of time that I want to make sure that I'm balanced. Listen, it may not happen. But for now, it's good.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. You should have it. I just think different things take different like precedence at different times, but you should have it.
Especially because, we're not married with kids and have these families and other obligations. Like we're very focused on our business right now. And I think that's most important too, is making sure that we work on ourselves, work on our careers, and then worry about that other stuff after, because, a social life is good. But I feel like even for our business, that's why I try and go out more, right? Like we go out on the weekend. We'll go to a bar. We'll go to.
But are you meeting leads that way?
Exactly. No, but
are you?
But I am.
Oh,
I try
really?
to.
Okay.
Every time I go out, I try and get at least one person's contact info.
Okay, good.
Right, because you can go to a bar with your friends and you're all hanging around a table, but how often are you actually going and speaking to people and trying to meet people at, who are there as well, right? Like on the weekend. You're out, you see people that but it's having those conversations. And you're not seeing those people elsewhere, especially new people. And before, I was sort of nervous to do that, to be honest. Before real estate, like, I'm not going and talking. I'm not the person to go and chat with everybody at the bar. But now having that sort of business mentality, it's still good because I'm still, even if it's not for business at all, and just meeting people, again, you never know. Yeah. And it's good for the business, but it's good for me, especially with relating it back to door knocking. Yeah. Because with door knocking, you're knocking on someone's house. They might answer, you don't know. But someone who's at a bar, maybe they got a couple drinks in them. They're willing to talk a little bit more. And even for us too, right? It's more fluid. So you can have that conversation with these people. And even if it doesn't amount to anything, you can just walk away.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's why I think it's really good for my social life to balance that and to go out. And as much as I'm doing real estate stuff here during the day and at night, like, I'm doing stuff 24/7 pretty much. It's getting out there and realizing that social aspect is also part of the business.
Totally. Yeah. I don't know if I could find people at a bar. Like, it just doesn't work for me. But I do agree with you that like getting social, like it does help warm people up. So like I recently joined like salsa dance classes, and I got so many leads from that. And I didn't mean to, like I was just there for salsa, but I mean, people would follow me on Instagram, realize what I do, and I got a lot of leads. So I think it does happen really great in social settings. But I've done that too at the gym, and the gym is different where people, like, I don't really talk to anybody at the gym. So, but I think it does work. That's actually a good pillar to add.
Yeah. Meaning, like, I don't really speak to people in the gym also because I don't know, I feel awkward walking out. Like they're working out, they're listening to music, like they don't want to be bothered.
I don't want to be bugged. So
especially like as a girl too, you have guys walking up to you, even if it's not.
That's why I wouldn't walk up to somebody at the bar because they might get the wrong impression. I'm like, hey, I'm talking to you about real estate. They'd be like,
yeah, but you don't want to lead with the real estate conversation, right? You just want to have a chat with them. And okay, they may think that you're just interested, but still it's having that initial conversation and sort of you guiding that conversation and guiding it in the right direction so that people understand that you're talking to them. It might not be about business, but you're just trying to get to know them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree about the social setting. I know for guys and girls probably different about what social setting it is, but I think it is a good idea to warm up leads that way or just make connections. It doesn't always have to be a lead.
And even for me, again, in the gym, walking up to people, I guess it's sort of the same, right? Like I don't want to walk up to a girl in the gym or, I mean, I'm developing it now because I have that routine and I'm going at the same time every day. I'm seeing the same people every day. So now I'm more comfortable walking up to them because I have a conversation. Right, there's a guy in the gym that I see now, and we were chatting, and it just started off by saying, hey, just kind of waved to each other. He was on whatever machine, I wanted to use it after, and when he was done, you develop that conversation. You start like, hey, see you around here a lot. What's your name? And then now we've moved on to waving at each other when we see each other.
There you go.
Or going and having a conversation.
Yeah.
And chatting with them because those are. Although, it's not about the business at all, but it's building those relationships because you never know.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, it is good in those social settings to warm up people or meet people that way.
Yeah, and even with the whole balance, work-life balance, it may not exist.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just
hopeful. I'm hopeful with you. I'm hopeful with you.
Right now it's working for me, and maybe in the future it's not going to work for me, but that's how I see it in my head. Yeah. Going out and doing these things for the business, right?
And you don't feel like you're still working when you're going out and like if
I am.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So then where's the balance?
It's in the back of my head.
Okay.
It's not the first thing I'm thinking of.
It's important to you, though.
Listen, I'm not going into these situations. I'm not going for dinner with my friends and thinking, I'm here to go meet people. And like I'm not here to enjoy myself. I'm here to go prospect people.
Yeah.
No, if it comes naturally, it comes naturally. But I'm not forcing myself to go and do business, right? Because we work 24/7, right? We're out there, we're working all day, all night. Like we're writing offers at 10, 11 at night.
Yeah.
Wait, I couldn't sleep the other day. We put in an offer for a place and we came back and one of the landlords was away in one of the Asian countries because it was like 3 a.m, somewhere all the way across the world. And like, I'm literally sitting in bed. I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. And we had to wait until like midnight. And I'm sitting there on my phone, just waiting. And I fortunately got the email that we were good.
Yeah.
But,
yay. Okay, good.
So I had a good night's sleep, but again, in a tough market, thinking that, you're all about the business 24/7, like you need to sort of have that switch on and off.
Totally. And because you will burn out. Like in my first year, I burnt out. I've definitely burnt out. So, but I just don't know if the first couple of years are like that. And then hopefully you can create some structure. But I don't know. It's kind of inevitable in your first couple of years to not burn out.
As soon as you burn out, you just got to get an assistant.
Yeah. I had an assistant and no.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I was like, no, I don't think I need it yet. And I'm also a control freak, so I like things done a certain way.
You just got to find the right person.
Yeah.
So what prompted you to get an assistant so early on?
It was more because, it was when the market was hot, so I was just dealing with like clients, and I needed somebody to help me, like still post on Facebook, still reach out to agents, like all the back end stuff. But it just didn't really happen. So I don't know. I just took back control and did things my way. I think it'll take me a while to delegate things just because I am a bit of a control freak. I like things done my way.
So I think we're almost at the end, but I just want to ask you for, someone who might be newer in the business, what's something like a piece of advice you would give to somebody who, is learning and wants to do better, wants to succeed, but might not be in the right headspace yet?
I would say keep it really simple. Keep it really, really simple. I think as a new agent, you get overwhelmed. When I started, I wanted to do all these different things. We have to wear so many different hats. You are looking at the 99 ways to lead generate. I would just say keep it really, really simple. Figure out your pillars. Do your tasks daily and organize your systems, and you'll be fine. And just do it consistently. Don't give up. Please don't give up.
I think that's the hardest part about the business.
Yeah.
It's so discouraging.
Oh, it can be.
Because it's all commission, right? If you don't find anything for a month or two, you're not making any money. So,
yeah, exactly.
As long as you're pushing, you're going through it, you're trying your best to stay with it and stick with it, everything's going to come after that. And it's going to take time. That's the hardest thing to remember, I feel, is that it's going to take time. There are people who I've spoken to who are new in the business who, you can tell are sort of dwindling because they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel and they're not willing to work hard enough to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you know that it's going to be there and you sit down and you work day in, day out, like us, you have those Zoom meetings every day. For me, I'm in the office every day. I'm doing as much as I can to build the business and network with people. Yeah. I feel like that's the best thing.
For sure. It's going to be a snowball effect. You just have to put in the work and it will pay off later. You just have to believe that. But it does take a little bit of time. It does take a little bit of time for sure. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I promise. I promise.
So, where can people, because you
Team
post
Toronto,
a lot on
so Team Toronto on Instagram, Team Toronto _ randomly on TikTok, and then Alex Tejeda on YouTube. And I post vlogs, reels, all different fun things.
The vlogs are good.
Yeah, I try to be entertaining. So
I think you are. I think you got like the bubbly personality where people want to listen to you and want to speak to you.
You watch my vlogs? Have you watched my vlogs?
Yeah.
Oh God, everybody tells me, and I'm like, it's so funny. I feel like it's just like random people on the internet, but then my friends actually watch it, and I'm like, a little embarrassed.
Well, now everyone who's watching here is going to go watch your vlogs too, and you're going to get those 250,000
impressions. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So,
perfect.
Anyway, thanks, Alex.
Well, thank you.
Really
thank you for
appreciate
having me.
it, and I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.